Hi, and welcome back to I'm a Happy Enchilada. And if it's your first time with us, thanks for tuning us in. I'm Don Culver, and I'll be your host. And today we have another very important topic to discuss. It's shame. It's a powerful feeling that can bring us to our very knees and taint our lives. So, what is shame exactly, you ask? Shame can be defined as a feeling of embarrassment or humiliation that arises in relation to the perception of having done something dishonorable, immoral, or improper. And what are symptoms of shame? Shame is the uncomfortable sensation we feel in the pit of our stomach when it seems we have no safe haven from the judging gaze of others. We feel small and bad about ourselves and wish we could just vanish. An example of shame is feeling unattractive about a particular part of the body or a specific physical feature, blaming oneself for being a victim of sexual, physical, or mental abuse, replaying embarrassing interactions or mistakes over and over again in our minds. Now, how does shame affect your life? People that live with shame often feel worthless, depressed, and anxious. Shame can be a contributing factor in depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. People who are constantly ashamed live out a difficult emotional and mental battle each and every day. Now, how does shame show up? Shame typically comes up when you look inward with a critical eye and evaluate yourself harshly, often for things you have little control over. This negative self-evaluation often has its roots in messages you've received from others, especially during your childhood. Oh my God. And here are 4 different areas of shame to consider: unrequited love, exclusion, unwanted exposure, disappointed expectation. And let's take a look at how shame feels in the body. Shame produces an implosion in the body, head lowered, eyes closed or hidden, and the upper body curves in on itself, trying to be as small as possible. And shame can make you angry. The negative self-talk that usually accompanies shame can trigger unwanted emotions like anger, both toward yourself and toward others. And there is also what's called a shame spiral. You may have experienced it one time or another. It's a particular type of negative emotion that can be very destructive. They are often brought on by a sense of embarrassment or unworthiness. The shame leads to feelings of worthlessness, which in turn lead to more shame and isolation. It's very clear to me that shame is a serious feeling that can be overwhelming and crippling, causing a person a great deal of pain. Now, some experts say shame comes from guilt, confusion, resentment, frustration, and remorse, which are all learned emotions that we pick up in childhood from the people around us. Whoa! So in my simple mind, I'm thinking that anything that we have learned can be unlearned, especially something in our lives that is stealing our joy and peace of mind, right? Well, I guess we are all free to come to our own conclusions on this. Now, I think there's hope for putting shame in the past for all of us if we're willing to just do the work necessary to get us there. So, with that in mind, let's look at ways we can start getting shame out of our lives. Let the sun shine in and have the life we deserve. First, find the cause of your shame in order to move you forward. Start by becoming aware of how you talk to yourself. Whoa! Try to observe your own thoughts without reacting to them. Have compassion for yourself. Everyone has flaws and makes mistakes. Practice mindfulness and recognize when you're feeling shame and seek support. Well, that's a good start to healing from shame, I'd say. Next, here's a few tips for releasing shame and lightening your load. First, name your guilt. Explore the source. Apologize and make amends. Learn from the past. Practice gratitude. Replace negative self-talk with self-compassion. And forgive yourself. Yeah, please do. Well, that's a lot of tips, but they're all good ones. I couldn't leave any out, and just choose what works best for you. And here's a process for letting go of shame you want to check out. First, identify the source. Then practice acceptance. Challenge your thought patterns. Forgive yourself. Ooh, I like that. Discover your self-worth. I like that too. And lastly, seek professional help. It can help so much. Here's a few final tips for breaking free of shame. Talk about your feelings of shame. Is it shame, guilt, or embarrassment? Unhook what you do from what you are. Identify your hidden insecurities. And lastly, connect with friends. And that brings us to the end of another episode. And I hope I've done my job in bringing awareness to you on the topic of shame. I hope it helps you or someone you know or love get more peace in their lives. Well, that's all I've got. So until next time, God bless and be a happy enchilada. Bye.